Minnesota Vikings could still use a little bit of depth along the defensive line. We have the meats. And Bleacher Report writer Christopher Knox put out a best free agent option remaining for every NFL team. One of those slideshow articles, and you would think, okay, Vikings, Ndamukong Suh. Yes, we've heard this story before. Vikings, Suh, Vikings, all that stuff. Take a little less money, play that 5-tech spot. Jonathan Bullard's dealing with a sore bicep, so come on in, Ndamukong Suh, and chase yourself another ring. All that stuff. But surprise, surprise. Looky, we got hooky. So Suh was paired with the Raiders, which, whatever. And the Vikings were paired with defensive tackle Malcolm Brown, who was a stud back in the day at Texas. This is what they wrote. Minnesota Vikings have shown interest in defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh, blah, blah, blah. Last season, the Vikings sucked, yada, yada. The problem with after going Suh is the Vikings don't have a lot of cap space. Malcolm Brown, who was released by the Jaguars last month, could fit the bill. Brown is a 7-year veteran who has been a full-time starter since his 2015 rookie campaign with the Patriots. He started all 17 games with Jacksonville in 2021, finishing with 57 tackles, 2 sacks, and 4 tackles for loss. While finding a starting caliber interior defender on the cheap is rare, the Vikings could be fortunate. Brown was released with $4.6 million in dead money on his contract, which could allow him to accept a more team-friendly agreement for the 2022 season. If Minnesota can make a deal work, it should jump at the chance to add Brown before week 1. Now, we've talked about this quite a bit too, where if contracts are signed after week 1, they're not guaranteed for the season. So it's week to week like a track phone. Could be why the Vikings and other teams are waiting on guys like Suh and potentially guys like Malcolm Brown as well. Because, I mean, Malcolm Brown, respect. Malcolm Brown is a dude, man. Absolutely. Won 2 rings with the New England Patriots. He was a 2015 first-round pick out of Texas. He's 28 years young, 6'2", 320. Former 5-star recruit, all everything. Under Armour All-American, all that stuff. Consensus All-American at Texas in his final year. Picked up by the Patriots. Spent the next 2 years with the Saints after signing a 3-year, $15 million deal with them in 2019. And then moved on to Jacksonville and was cut in August in a cap-saving move. He has career 304 tackles, 13 and a half sacks. And the thing about him is he would be significantly cheaper than Suh. Like if Ndamukong Suh is asking $8-9 million bucks, like the article said, I mean, Brown is still getting paid by the Jaguars. So he could potentially take a little bit less, a little bit more team-friendly deal, a little bit more incentive-laden deal. And also, during his career, he's primarily been an under tackle, but he could provide a little bit of depth at nose tackle as well, because Harrison Phillips is the only true nose tackle on the roster as of right now. Blacklock's more of a 3-tech. James Lynch can play some passing down nose tackle, but that's really about it. So need to add a little bit more meat, a little bit more beef along the defensive line. Now the big question is, could Brown play 5-tech? I don't think that he's long enough to potentially be a consistent guy out there at 5-tech, but I mean, the guy's a player. Either way, maybe bring him in. Donatel can make some adjustments to the scheme. Maybe he could be a rotational platoon guy for sure, because he was very good in New England. He was good in parts during his Saints seasons, but last year was very meh in Jacksonville. But I put that more on the Jaguars, who were very meh in general last season, just as Urban Meyer. Woo. But, I mean, I didn't even frankly think about Malcolm Brown because he just floated out there in the ether. There's a lot of really good football players out there as free agents. And I think, again, after week 1, when contracts aren't guaranteed, teams get to see where they are at in terms of depth, in terms of where they could add a little something. And free agents, clock's starting to tick, man, because free agents say, especially like Ndamukong Suh, is like, I want $8-9 million bucks a year. But then after a week goes by, and then that contract's not fully guaranteed. Also, that's out a game check. That's out 1/18th of what your potential salary could be. So I think that there's going to be a lot of movement after this week's games. And if the Vikings, I mean, there's always money in the salary cap. So they could adjust things with Eric Kendricks. They could adjust things with Dalvin. They could adjust things with Kirk Cousins. Restructures, I'm not worried about that. But if they don't go after Suh, Malcolm Brown would make a lot of sense. I mean, hey, Bleacher Report, actually talking some truth, actually making a little bit of sense here, but I would love it overall. Your thoughts are thoughts. Bleacher Report pairs the Vikings with free agent defensive tackle Malcolm Brown. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. We'll support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo, but until next time, Skol, production value.